All right, so in the previous podcast that you watched and took notes on, we talked or said that meiosis is the process where gametes are formed. And we said that gametes can either be egg, which comes from the mom, or sperm, which comes from the dad. So now we're just going to get just a little bit more specific on that. Spermatogenesis is the scientific term used for sperm formation. And what happens is that the sperm are actually going through the whole process, and you end up with 4 sperm cells in the end, and they are all going to be haploid. And one thing that you should know about sperm formation is that males constantly produce sperm. So once a male reaches puberty, they will be producing sperm constantly until the day they die. They're always producing sperm. All the time. Never ends. So, stem cells in the testes divide mitotically to create a pool of what are called spermatocytes. And spermatocytes, cyte means cell. And meiosis then produces 4 spermatids. So sperm cells are then divided more by meiosis to produce 4 spermatids. So that's the process of creating sperm. The egg formation is called oogenesis. So once again, we start out and go all the way through, but our results in egg formation are a little bit differently. And the formation of eggs in females starts before birth and ends when they reach puberty. So girls or women, females, make eggs up until puberty, and then they don't make any more eggs. And then, as you know, once a month, they release 1 egg. Now, the process is still the same, where as the division goes through meiosis, you end up with 4 cells in the end, but only 1 cell is going to be that really nice, large egg. And the egg has to have enough nutrition to get that new organism to start to grow. The other 3 are called polar bodies, and these basically die off and are absorbed during the formation. So the females end up with 1 large egg at the end of their oogenesis formation. So oogenesis, ovum means egg. 1 of the 4 meiotic products becomes an ovum. The 3 remaining meiotic products are called polar bodies. Now, this particular process occurs in the ovaries, and the mature egg has a rich storehouse of nutrients to nourish the young organism that develops after it has been fertilized. So a little bit different in that when we form sperm, you end up with 4 sperm. When we form an egg, you end up with 1 large egg and 3 polar bodies, and the 3 polar bodies are then absorbed by the body. Males, once again, produce sperm from puberty until death. Females start producing their eggs when they're born and stop producing them when they've reached puberty. Fertilization is the joining of the egg and the sperm. Meiosis II in the ovum is completed at the time of fertilization, forming one ovum and one polar body. During fertilization, chemical reactions occur, preventing additional sperm from entering the ovum. So, of all the sperm that are released, there's only one sperm that can fertilize that egg. So then you're probably thinking, well, how do twins occur? Twins are a little bit differently. When it comes to twins, we have two types of twins. There are identical twins, and in identical twins, the egg has already been fertilized and then it splits again. Fraternal twins are two separate eggs. So instead of the female releasing one egg, she releases two eggs, and both of those eggs then are fertilized separately. So in identical twins, once again, the fertilized egg splits. In fraternal twins, there are two separate eggs that are fertilized. All animals have a characteristic number of chromosomes in their somatic or body cells, and these once again are called diploid. So this is just a reminder to you that our body cells or somatic cells are all diploid. So your skin cells, your muscle cells, all of those are 2N. The gametes, or your sex cells, contain half the number of chromosomes as a body cell, and those are then haploid. These types of cells reproduce by mitosis, and those cells are identical. These cells reproduce by meiosis, and they are different. So, for example, if man or a human has 46 total chromosomes, their haploid number is going to be 23. A dog, 39. A fruit fly, 4. A crayfish, 100. And corn, 10. Once again, haploid is half of the diploid number. And the haploid number are the gametes. And this particular chart just compares mitosis and meiosis as far as how are the two different. So if we look at it in detail, the number of divisions in mitosis we have 1, meiosis we have 2. In the very end, when we start with one cell, the end result is 2 daughter cells in mitosis and 4 in meiosis. As far as genetically identical, yes, they are genetically identical in mitosis. No, they are not genetically identical in meiosis. As far as the number of chromosomes, in mitosis, they are the same as the parent, which means they are 2N or diploid. In meiosis, they are half of the parent, which means they are N or haploid. Where does mitosis occur? Mitosis occurs in our somatic cells, and those would be, another name for somatic is body. And meiosis occurs in our germline cells, and germline, another term for germline, is our sex cells. When do these processes actually occur? Well, mitosis occurs throughout our lifetime. because mitosis is repair of cells, growth. Meiosis, on the other hand, is reproduction. So meiosis occurs at sexual maturity. And, I guess here's our role: growth and repair and sexual reproduction. And that concludes the notes on meiosis.